Good morning, friends and foes. Welcome to Back of the Cereal Box. I am your host, the prophet of pop culture, John Pyka. You can call me Johnny. And this morning, Willow and I are going to talk about Marvel versus DC while Dee Bartee pulls out her hair and tries to avoid absolute boredom. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we got a cereal taste test right after this.
It's like Coca-Cola, Levi Strauss, Johnny Carson and Mickey Mouse. The first star was James Dean. Elvis Presley, yeah, he's still the king. Some things are only imitatable. You can't beat an original. Oh, you can't beat an original.
Hey there, friends and foes. If that theme song doesn't get your fire started, then your wood is wet. This is Back of the Cereal Box, a pop culture podcast that celebrates the fun of the Saturdays of our youth while navigating adulthood today. I am John Pyka, the prophet of pop culture. You can call me Johnny. And Avengers comic books and Star Wars movies and Saturday morning cartoons made me who I am today. And this morning, I am trying Lucky Charms, Honey Clovers. That's what's in my bowl. And we are called Back to the Cereal Box because I am of an age that we did not have smartphones and tablets at the breakfast table on Saturday mornings. We were reading the Back of the Cereal Box. That was our newspaper. That was our world. That was my portal to all of the cool pop culture stuff that I love today, like comic books, cartoons, Godzilla movies, kaiju, kung fu movies, board games, music, the whole nine yards. And we are super glad to have you guys here. This show is for you. We are going to celebrate the fun of our youth while navigating adulthood today. And I want to recognize our sponsors, the Murdering Crows. Their record, Four Bad Crows, is available on Amazon, Google, and Apple Music. And they did our awesome theme song. And I also want to recognize our awesome sponsors, Charisse Collins, Cindy Kep, Brian Huff, Dave Manginelli, Dave Mattingly, Crystal Raven-Jones, Eli Cash, and your name can be in lights with them if you become a sponsor at buymeacoffee.com/cerealboxpod. And that address will be scrolling along the bottom throughout the show. If you love the show, contribute generously. If you hate the show, contribute even more generously to help us improve. And congratulations to Eli Cash, who hit a sponsor level this week that got him a bunch of cool swag. So, Eli, you got some fun stuff on the way. All right, it is time to welcome in my co-host of 10 years, my broadcast partner, my, as she would put it, my work wife. And she is incredibly talented, incredibly beautiful, model, actress, photographer, the incomparable Dee Bartee.
Hi.
Good morning, Dee Bartee. I know. Listen, if there's one thing I do better than anything is introduce people.
Yeah, you do.
So, Dee Bartee, tell people, because we have new viewers, new listeners every week, tell people who you are, what you do, what your pop culture passion is, and what's in your bowl this morning.
Photographer. That's my main thing. Actress. Well, you said all those things. So my pop culture, friends, vampires, witches. Look behind me. Whoop whoop whoop. Hocus Pocus sisters behind me. Sanderson sisters. What else? Wizard of Oz. Dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. Yeah. What's in my bowl? Coffee.
But
as always.
But we have a very special treat for our guests. We're gonna save that for a minute. Dee Bartee, I need to borrow a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I have plenty.
I may come get it today. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, also welcome in our other co-host, our compliment. She's the one who keeps Dee and I on the straight and narrow, helping out in the back room. She's the Peppermint Princess, the social media socialite, the one, the only, Willow Skylor.
Hello.
My favorite barista.
Yes, and our emotional support Canadian.
Yep.
This week was election day in the U.S. I have no idea who was running, what the issues were, anything.
Hugs for all of you. I'm sure it's kind of stressful watching that kind of election.
I don't watch anything. I don't watch the news. If it's important enough for me to know, someone will tell me. That's my motto. So Willow, because we have new listeners, new viewers every week, tell people who you are, what you do, what your pop culture passion is, and what's in your bowl.
Well, I'm broadcaster by day, barista by night. I am a huge nerd when it comes to Marvel comics, movies, television, and comics. Although I feel really bad because I haven't picked up a new comic in a long time. But that being said, I have something for new loot later that I want to show off. So,
all right, excellent. And what's in your bowl this morning?
What's in my bowl is what's left of the Nesty Quick cereal.
Nestle Quick. I don't think we have that in the U.S. I've not seen the Nestle Quick cereal. It's got to be like Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, it turns the milk all chocolatey, and yeah, it's good. Lots of sugar in it, though.
Listen, so this I'm so happy that Target is carrying Magic Spoon cereal now, and so I've been able to. And they've had it on sale this week. So I went out and I bought a bunch of boxes of the chocolate.
Oh,
you guys, first of all, I think it's better than Cocoa Puffs or Cocoa Pebbles or Cocoa Rice Krispies. And it turns the milk chocolate, but not in an art of it. It tastes so good. I don't know. It's superior.
Okay.
I love it. Now we have some comments. And this is how the show works, everybody watching. You guys get to join us in the virtual rec room. You're part of the audience. You're part of the show. You are the fourth host this morning because we're without Ivy this morning. George Bueller says, "Good morning, campers." And Facebook user says, "Morning from Fanboy Knoxville. No cereal this morning. Greek omelet, though." That's Sandra Noel, I believe. And she's at Fanboy Knoxville. I'm really jealous. Sandra, why didn't you volunteer to pick me up on your way? We need to have a conversation. I've never been to Fanboy Knoxville, and I know I need to go. I've never been. But, life, adulting is hard.
Yep.
Anyway. And she says, "Have a good show. We're going to have a great show. We're going to miss you, but have fun at Fanboy." Hey, Sandra, take a bunch of pictures and video and be our correspondent. We'll give you credit. We'll give you credit for that. So, and George Bueller says, "I'm rocking grape Pop-Tarts this morning." I didn't know they had grape.
I just bought those. George, how are they? Because it sounds kind of weird. Not that I eat Pop-Tarts, but everybody in my family does. I'm wondering if it's like the grape medicine the kids had, because they don't like grape stuff for that reason.
Well, I love grape flavored stuff. I would think grape Pop-Tarts would be like grape jelly on your toast.
Oh,
I would hope.
maybe.
Or like a grape jelly filled donut.
It's been a long time since I've had Pop-Tarts anyway, so.
I've never heard of a grape jelly filled donut. It's always been like raspberry, which I hate raspberry, or strawberry.
You guys, we have a very special surprise. All of a sudden, you speak the devil's name, and they show up, hailing all the way from New York City. She's going to body slam you with laughter. It is the Silver Queen, Ivy Roman.
Hey.
Ivy, you're covered up with a blanket. Oh, we have no sound from you, Ivy.
I didn't turn the mic on. I had to poop, y'all. I'm sorry I'm late. I had to go. Johnny, sometimes I
We all
hold it
do
for
it.
you. I can't no more. My body's like, get out. Dee,
Carl
Willow.
Witzman says, no likes yet. I fixed that. Can't stay, but at least I could do this. Thank you, Carl. So, Ivy,
What up?
since you just shocked the audience, shocked me, tell people, because we have new viewers, new listeners every week, who you are, what you do, what your pop culture passion is, and what's in your bowl.
Hi, y'all. My name is Ivy Roman. I'm a professional wrestler, comedian, content creator. My fandom is X-Men. That is my all-time favorite. But I'm geeking out over Orville right now. Orville is my favorite show at the moment. I haven't seen yesterday's episode yet. That's tonight. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I was too tired. But what's in my bowl is I had some oatmeal when I was trying to get ready to come on. So I ate it already, so I'm sorry. But I used to eat oatmeal when it was hot summers like in New York because the AC is blasted and I wanted to feel a little warmth. So be hot cereal today, you guys. And my coffee is coming by in 2 seconds.
Oh, you've got a cabana boy.
Thank you.
And look at that beautiful, voluptuous Ivy Roman hair. It's voluminous.
Yeah.
Is that a word?
I don't know.
It is now.
It is. I think, Johnny, you created a word. This is my natural hair.
I love it.
Thank you. Dee, my boo, Willow. I miss you ladies so much. Dee, especially you. I'm having like separation anxiety a little bit, and I have to confess, I miss you a lot.
Well, I miss
We
you
have
too.
missed you.
My
Now,
kids
what
talk
is-
about you all the time. When's Miss Ivy coming back?
Oh my God.
Now, what is that behind you, Ivy?
This is my actual apartment, y'all. And this is a love sack. So this is like a memory foam beanbag chair.
Yeah.
This is what I lay in when I watch Orville. And that's my little heated blanket right over there. And this is my living room.
Maddie got one of those for Christmas. They're massive.
Yeah.
The love sack is
They're
a
massive.
little old.
They're like
well, and
6 foot tall.
I've got mine, my Zorby, over here in the rec room.
Ooh.
I've got two, one here and one downstairs in my.
Is that what
in
you
my
were going to
office.
have me to sleep in if I would have stood over?
No,
Because I would have.
well, you could have. You could have. My daughter's best friend sleeps in it when she spends the night, but and I've fallen asleep many times in the Zorby, the love
Even
sack.
at conventions.
Yes, it did happen.
Dee, please tell me you have pictures for us to use later on.
Of course. Absolutely.
Dee is always prepared. She does not fail, Willow.
So George Bueller comments about the grape Pop-Tarts. He says they are tasty and it is like grape jelly.
Okay.
Now, Ivy, we were having a little, well, no, hot
No,
Pop-Tarts. You put them in the toaster, you heat them up,
no, I don't
and then
like
you dunk them in
hot.
milk.
I don't like them hot. I just eat them straight from the box. Is it weird? Am I
Dee,
weird? guys?
you're looking at me like I'm bizarre. So we were having this conversation. Dee Bartee says that she's never had a grape-filled jelly.
Donut.
That's what I said.
Well, I don't like
Why
donuts
would you
that
put
have
it in
filling.
milk? That's disgusting.
A grape jelly donut, dunk it in milk?
Oh.
Are you
Ugh.
serious? That's delicious.
Mm-mm. No,
Oh.
no, thank you.
Willow, help me out here.
I don't know. Where's Sean? Sounds like a guy thing.
Yeah.
I'm
Donuts and milk? That's like the best thing
Donuts
ever.
and coffee.
And
Okay.
coffee.
In coffee, yeah.
No, I don't drink coffee.
We know that.
Yeah, well, you're the weirdo here then. So
No, it's just his preference. I think, like, for me, I just don't like anything with like grape filling or any filling in a donut. Ivy, my wife eats them straight out of the package too. See, George, I knew me and your wifey was besties. I knew it.
Well, speaking of back of the cereal box, that's what we're called. And I for those of you who are just joining us, it's because, we didn't have iPhones or iPads at the breakfast table when we were kids, reading the back of the cereal box at Saturday morning. And this one, you guys, I got Lucky Charms Honey Clovers at Ollie's this week. You can see that price tag.
Oh my God, $2.29.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why it's only $2.29.
Okay.
The cereal is very bland. The marshmallows are tasty, but the rest of the cereal doesn't taste like anything. And I don't know if this should concern me. It's turning the milk gray.
Ew, Johnny, listen, didn't we go through this at ICCC?
I was just about to say
Come
that.
on.
No, it's because of the color. It's because of the blue dye in the marshmallows. But
Wasn't that the problem you had with the Fruit Loop thing?
The magic fruity pebbles. Yeah, that was not a good thing. But anyway, this has a pretty fun little game on the back. So you got to go down this river of marshmallows, and you got to do this pattern. Hop from one marshmallow to the other, but you got to follow this pattern.
I want to go on a lazy river now.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A lazy river with marshmallows. A little lazy river. Gather the gold. Lazy river.
Oh my goodness, Johnny, imagine a cereal theme park. How dope would that be?
Well, it's funny that you should say that. There's stuff coming. Not a theme park, but a themed event.
Ooh.
I sense Willy Wonka coming up.
I have the hair a little bit. Just a little bit.
Now, we have a surprise for everybody. Dee Bartee has some new loot. Wait, let's throw that up there to really set this up. It's time for new loot. And when I was a kid, you would reach into the cereal box, dig around for the toy, and pull it out. And I actually have something this morning, courtesy of a sponsor. We were donated a cool collectible by Gray Skull Collectibles in Indianapolis.
Oh, that's awesome.
And he donated.
Oh, no way. Johnny, you're so lucky you're in another state, because I would take that from you.
Well, what you gonna do, brother?
Hop on a flight and steal it?
When the NWO runs wild all over you, brother. This is a prop for the stage show back of the cereal box that I am opening up at the end of this month, a one-man show inspired by this podcast. And Gray Skull Collectibles in Indianapolis donated that to the cause. And you can visit them in Indianapolis and take a picture of this screenshot, take $2 off any action figure or toy if you mention back of the cereal box. But Dee Bartee has something very special.
Ooh, Dee, what you
and
got?
Dee Bartee, I won't put you all the way center, but I am going to bring you here.
Please don't. Okay.
We are going to put you there. Show us what you got.
I got your monster cereal. That's what I got.
Yay! And I'm going to find a way to get down there, maybe today, because I got to pick up a Tyrannosaurus Rex for the stage show. Because the Tyrannosaurus Rex in the show is going to fight Hulk Hogan.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. All right, so show us what you got. Dee Bartee?
I got cereal.
She has a magic spoon delivery.
So she's gonna open it up for us. Show
Okay,
us what's inside.
I'm gonna do that over here, and then
Okay.
so there's
The
4
unbox.
boxes. I got 4 boxes. I'm just gonna dump it out.
Oh,
So I got s'mores
Okay.
and what is this one?
Chocolate.
The chocolate, the cocoa one.
Amazing.
And I got cookies and cream.
Okay.
And I got cinnamon roll.
All right. Excellent. Now, so the cinnamon roll, the cookies and cream, and the what was the other one? The
Chocolate
cinnamon roll.
s'mores.
No, the s'mores. I've had the chocolate. The chocolate is the best of any chocolate cereal I've ever had. Period. Hands down.
Ooh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
But
let's try that one. Shall we?
all right. Do you like chocolate?
Sort of. Kind of depends.
I hope you don't make me a liar.
Well, it smells really good.
It's so good.
You hear that,
It's so
Magic
good.
Spoon? You should sponsor us because I bought this from you, and I don't do cereal.
She doesn't.
No, and the fact that she shipped it to herself, that is a big monumental moment.
Not only did she buy it, well, she buys cereal for her family, as you see behind her.
Yeah.
But she's actually going to try it.
So
That's
these are really
huge.
good.
I know. I told you.
These are really good.
Are you going to try them with milk?
I bought almond milk, but I'm not going to do that right now because I have 4 of them.
Well, so here's the thing with the Magic Spoon cereals. Unlike Lucky Charms, which went soggy almost immediately, that Magic Spoon cereal stays crispy forever.
I like the
Really?
texture of
Okay.
it. It's very fluffy.
Yeah, it's fluffy, but it
Okay.
doesn't get soggy.
I'm going to try s'mores next.
The s'mores. This one I have not tried. She's
Oh, it
opening
smells
the
good,
box.
too.
She's
Smells good,
smelling
too.
it.
Okay, so there's like several different colors here. I guess
Okay.
it's all like s'more stuff. Can you see?
Ooh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
cute.
So I'm
you
going to
got the-
try it all at one time to get the whole flavor and everything going, okay?
Yeah.
There we go. She
Let's go.
put the
And
whole
she
thing
is-
in her mouth.
Breaking down the cereal in her taste buds. She is thinking, I think I like this. I don't know. I taste a little graham cracker. Oh, there goes the chocolate.
Oh, there's a smile.
Okay, so it didn't really taste like s'mores, but it tastes like a candy bar.
Okay.
So I like
Okay.
it, which is
And-
good because I'm not a huge s'mores fan.
Well, and-
Yeah,
and,
that we've spoken about. So I can contest to that.
and here's the thing that I love
like
about
that one.
Magic Spoon, and Dee, you'll appreciate this because this is one of the reasons you got it at my recommendation. Sugar-free,
Mhm.
wheat-free, grain-free, soy-free. It's no gluten. It's
Mhm.
vegan. It's all organic. It's delicious.
I know. I was like, is it taste free? It's really not, you guys. I mean, it's actually very good. Okay, I'm gonna try the cookies and cream.
Okay.
I love this.
Oh my gosh, we may have converted Dee Bartee.
Okay, so cookies and cream. It's like chocolate and vanilla cookies and cream.
She's got a whole handful of the cereal. She's
I did.
not
You
putting
have
it
to
in the
get the
bowl.
whole thing. You have to. Get
I know.
The whole
I love it. I love it.
You have
I
to
love
hit
it.
all the notes, okay? And she's breaking down the flavor in her taste buds. There's some head nodding, so it's like not.
Ooh.
Oh, there's something.
It tastes like
Ooh.
cookies and cream.
Ooh,
Like legit.
like legit,
Like legit.
like a milkshake, cookies and cream.
Like I think this is my favorite. Well, I
Oh,
can
nice.
try the cinnamon roll, but I like this.
We have a pop. We have a pop of
I'm
cereal.
digging it.
Are we doing the cinnamon roll too while we're at it?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Bring it, baby.
I have never seen Johnny so excited on camera like this.
They like
It's like
watching me put
Christmas.
things in my mouth. Oh, it smells good. I was like super cinnamony. Oh, what does it smell like?
Cinnamon roll.
A cinnamon roll. It just
Cinnabon.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Yeah.
Like in the mall, Cinnabon? Like
Yeah.
Oh really? Oh, it's like
Okay.
that strong.
Here we go.
And
Oh
she's
no,
breaking
just
down.
kidding. I have a new favorite.
So
that was
cinnamon
no
roll.
breakdown. That was
That's
no
really
breakdown.
good. That tastes like Cinnabon.
Does it really?
It does.
So
Wow.
D, you think the Cinnabon would taste better in my coffee than the other ones you've tried?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the Cinnabon.
So D,
Yes.
maybe you can do the Ivy Roman method, and Saturday mornings have the cinnamon roll magic spoon cereal in your coffee, or the s'mores or the cookies and cream with your coffee.
Well, I have pumpkin spice coffee. Like the cinnamon would probably be good, actually.
Yeah.
Maybe you should try it now.
No.
Oh, so close. We were
And you're cut off, Johnny.
so close. That close. That close. Oh my goodness. That was so funny.
Those are good though. Like
I told you.
those are good.
I've been telling you.
I want
I've
you to
been
try
telling
all
everyone.
the flavors. What else do they have?
They have fruity, like Fruit Loops. They have frosted. They have peanut butter, which I love.
Well,
And
I
they
can
have
peanut butter, but
well, it's not real peanut butter.
if it's
I mean-
not real peanut butter, I could have it. But I'm allergic to peanuts, so we don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
do that.
You would have to check the ingredients. Well, and the thing that I love about it, okay, so it has about the same calories as regular cereal. So like Lucky Charms has 140 calories per cup. And what does cinnamon roll have?
140 per cup.
Yeah, but here's
not
the
bad.
difference. It has no sugar. It doesn't have the carbs. It doesn't have all of the chemicals, and so you can eat that cereal every single day.
Yeah.
And that's what I do Sunday through Friday. I'm eating Magic Spoon cereal in the morning. Saturdays is the cheat day for the junk. And I'm not saying General Mills that your cereal isn't good, but when it's compared to something healthy and organic and keto,
They need to step up.
Yeah, I'm just
Sure.
saying. I'm
For
just
sure.
saying. I love Magic Spoon, and it's my everyday enjoyment.
Well, they have like the high protein, keto friendly, gluten free, grain free, soy free, wheat free, naturally flavored, delicious childhood. What does it say? Childhood cereal for grown-ups.
Ta-da!
Got all that on there.
That's kind of what our show is all about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Magic Spoon needs to sponsor us. Hello, Magic Spoon. Hello.
Ivy, they are in New York City.
Where's the address? I'll knock on their door. I'm that ballsy.
You
Where's
too.
Johnny's like, Johnny's
Tell
like,
me
Ivy,
they-
call me when you're in the city.
If they have me on board, they need to because I don't do cereal.
What we need now is Ivy Roman with the owner of Magic Spoon in a headlock.
Sponsor our podcast.
Tap.
That's all. I'll talk to you later. I'll call you, Ivy.
Yes, please do.
All
Before
right.
I hit the beach later.
So Ivy and Willow, either of you have new loot for this Saturday morning?
So I was trying to surprise you guys with a virtual studio. And I was trying to prop up my green screen that I've gotten, but it was a fail. And I threw it. It's somewhere on the other side of the house because it pissed me off because I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. And Dee, we've spoken about this and how it infuriates me. But I had a woosah moment and it's going to go back to Amazon. But I am trying to continue to upgrade my end of my studio and make this podcast as high tech and experience as possible. And
I have a green screen too, and I'm
Amazon
too lazy
failed
to
me.
set it up. Every morning I get up and I'm like, I'm gonna do the green screen. I'm like,
set it up the night before.
That's exactly
No.
what I was about to say. That's what I do.
That's what we both do.
so that would sound like a reasonable thing, right? Except
Oh, that's the room where the big TV is and everybody likes to hang out in the
Yes.
room.
yes,
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
And then
So-
you don't want nobody to fight because you don't got time for that. And it's
I'm sorry.
annoying.
Aren't you the dad of the house? Aren't you the man of the house?
Yes,
oh yeah,
that's why
I'm
no
gonna
one
give it
is.
back to you.
That's why no one is allowed in here on Saturday morning.
Mhm.
Okay, tell them there's a curfew at like 11. Like they have to be out by 11. That's the curfew for that room. So that way you can have it set up, and then when you wake up, it's like, oh, cereal. No,
So
Good
I
call.
know me well enough to know that I'm not doing this in the morning. So, and this is also my husband's workspace, and he does video calls. So he's like, "You have to take down the cereal boxes."
Well, see, we need to get a green screen for you too, Dee Bartee, and that way he can use it for his video calls.
oh, that would be
I like
good.
it.
That would be
Problem
good.
solved,
Yeah,
right?
but she edits. She edits in that room too, so she needs the desk space. But that's
What-
actually a
Come
good idea
on,
for
This is my
everybody.
desk.
Well, no, the green screen behind her.
No,
I feel
know.
like the cereal boxes have a certain professionalism to them.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it. Look, we are in an
But-
age where you can be whoever you want to be and still fit in with corporate culture. There was a
Well,
great
not in the corporate world. For
No,
Oh no,
yeah.
yes, yes. There
I
was
think
a
I
great
might get
article.
fired soon.
Johnny would know.
There was a great article on LinkedIn about it. Check it out. Anyway,
Well,
Willow, what
look.
you got this morning?
Hold on,
Well-
I have something to say to this.
Okay.
You might think that, and you might want to push that, and you might, and that's great. And I do believe that you should be whoever you want to be. But in the corporate world, they tell you that, but what really happens, they don't accept that, and they will find a way to fire you.
Mhm.
Oh, I know. I got fired for being a magician.
I caught my manager creeping on my social media. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, they do that.
Keep,
just to make
keep
sure
your work
that-
colleagues off the social media.
Yeah, no.
You know how many
They're
people have gotten fired because of what they posted on TikTok? I mean,
yeah.
it's a thing.
All right,
And
Willow,
my
what you got
husband,
for us?
he has accidentally left the cereal boxes up, and they're like, "What is that behind you?" And he's like, "Oh gosh, my wife does a podcast. Like, it's a whole thing." Anyway, okay, Willow, your turn.
All right, so Ivy, you being a huge X-Men fan, I think you'll enjoy this. I actually found a Dazzler figurine.
Wait, hold on. Let's put your center screen here.
Oh my god.
Da-da-da-da-da,
That
da-dum,
is so awesome.
da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-dum.
I'm jealous.
It cost
In
me
a good way.
$30, but
Well,
Yeah,
there she is, folks.
now, are you going to leave it in the package, or are you going
I'm-
to take it out and display it?
I'm kind of thinking leaving it right now because I don't know where to put her. But if I do take her out of the package, I think I'm gonna find some really cool LED lights to stick in her hands so that
Ooh,
That
that'd
would
be
be
cool.
awesome. That would be
Her-
awesome.
powers glow.
The problem with that line, that's the Marvel Legends line, but it's the carded. Is the problem is that the artwork on that card is so cool, and the
Mhm.
way that it looks, you just hate to destroy
Yeah.
the package. Yeah, I love it. Love it.
That's why you kind of just cut around the plastic and kind of slide it out like if you're robbing a museum.
Yeah, the thing is, it looks like there's like a cover up over the plastic, or you know what, on the other side here that it actually you can probably.
Don't do it.
No, not right now.
Don't do
But
it.
no, like if I can find another figurine like this, then I'll probably open that one up. But
Even
That-
if you
I
wanted
love
to
it.
display it on a wall, you could get like a casing and just
Yes.
like command strip
Yeah.
it, and it'll look so super cute.
That's awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hey guys, we got some bad news this week. So
What?
last week, we celebrated the careers of Tony Dow and Paul Sorvino and David Warner. Well, just a few days later, we lost Nichelle
Oh, yeah.
Nichols, Lieutenant Commander Uhura from Star Trek, a trailblazer in so many ways. Not only was she the first Black woman character in a power position, leadership position on television, she was one of the first Black women in a power position in Hollywood, period. She was also a producer, director, and writer, and she broke so many barriers in Hollywood. And I was looking for a really good high-res image from the Mirror Mirror episode, where she was one of the first women to ever show midriff on network primetime television. And first interracial kiss on television was between her and William Shatner. And she boldly went where no woman had gone before. And we're going to miss Nichelle Nichols. Have any of you ever met her in real life?
I didn't meet her in real life, but at a New York Comic Con, like I passed like a panel that she was on. But it was just so many people. Obviously, can't really get there. But R.I.P. to the Queen, and thank you for making those borders and those lines invisible.
I have a funny story about Nichelle Nichols. I met her at a convention where she was sitting right beside Guy Gerard. Guy Gerard was Buck Rogers on television. And Guy Gerard is a notorious sexist. And he's rather abrasive, a little bit of a misogynist. And Nichelle Nichols just had this look on her face like, please help me. Please help me. But anyway, Nichelle Nichols, live long and prosper, Lieutenant Commander Uhura. And we also lost Pat Carroll, the voice of Ursula, the Sea Witch from The Little Mermaid. And I know, Dee Bartee, you are a fan of The Little Mermaid. Yes?
Yes.
Those poor unfortunate souls. So sad. So true. Yes, so she was more than just Ursula. She had a huge career too, super long. You read her IMDb, you're like, holy crap, I had no idea Pat Carroll did so much. And that movie, Little Mermaid, was like the start of the Disney Renaissance. Because prior to that movie, I know none of you guys are old enough to remember this, 1989, Disney was at the verge of bankruptcy. And they had flop after flop, failure after failure. And the latest, the most substantial flop was a movie called Condor Man. It tanked hard. I mean, bad. And Little Mermaid saved that company and put them back on the map. And Pat Carroll was a big part of that. So rest in peace, Ursula the Sea Witch. Any memories about Pat Carroll from the panel?
I just remember like watching The Little Mermaid for the first time with my cousin, and just how we were just captivated by like the villain and the fear that brought on as a kid, but then like just wanted, Ariel to just get what she wants and stuff like that. So it just is those memories that come up when like these type of actors from my time, because I was so young. It's more of the feeling I had of experiencing the work that I saw.
I have a question for everyone. I was thinking about this last night because so many great movies came out in my youth that are considered some of the best of all time. And one of them is The Lost Boys, which I consider one of the top 5 best movies of the 1980s. And there's talk about doing a remake of The Lost Boys. Nobody wants a remake of The Lost Boys. So I started wondering, with studios floundering to come up with really compelling, engaging new content, do you think there are any movies, and I think Little Mermaid might be one of them, that could be re-released today as a brand new movie? Don't call it a re-release. Just do a whole new media campaign and release it like a brand new movie. Are there any movies that you guys can think of from the past that you could see that happening with?
I could see Reese Witherspoon's first movie when she was a teen, Man on the Moon. And in that movie, it's like a country movie and it's a love story, and it's very heartfelt. So I feel like maybe if that was redone,
Not redone.
Not redone. Like if it was re-released, I think it would do very well because the story is very, very compelling.
Dee, you're looking at me like, why are you asking this question? If they released Wizard of Oz today as a brand new movie,
That's actually what I was thinking, but I don't know exactly what you mean. Like just
don't even call it a re-release. It's a new
No,
release.
Are you talking
all
about?
over again?
Are you talking about like make the original better and release it as a new movie?
Well, they might do some tweaks with the color and the mastering and the sound, but not changing anything. Just doing a whole brand new media campaign and coming to theaters, this August 10th or whatever. And instead of trying to reinvent the wheel or do remakes, let's expose audiences to some of these great classics. Like, what if the first Ghostbusters was released as a brand new movie again?
I forgot about Ghostbusters being my thing. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan, and I would love that.
I
think a lot of us do that, where it's like, oh yeah, we love Ghostbusters, but
I need a list to go down. I'm a huge Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah, I mean, do you think people would go see like The Lost Boys or Ghostbusters or Back to the Future all over again?
Yeah, I think they would, because I mean, a lot of people like us have grown children or children that are teenagers, and I think that we would take our kids to go see that because that was the thing that we watched as kids.
Well, and
young adults.
One of the reasons one of the reasons movie executives say that they need to do remakes is because they've got these great stories, these classic stories, but modern audiences or younger audiences won't watch them on streaming or video because they're old movies. And I'm like, well, only because you told them it's an old movie.
Yeah, I mean, so you have things like The Wizard of Oz. I mean, I don't really think that's, I mean, other than like the beginning of it, it's not really set in a time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then, I mean, like Ghostbusters, obviously they don't have cell phones or anything, but I mean, you can get away with that pretty easily.
You call it a period piece.
Yeah. I mean, I think even in the new Ghostbusters, how many times did they actually use a cell phone? Not many, because they were out in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, like every year, there's a theater chain that does bring back some older films into the theaters, and then you know what, Goonies. If they were to do that to Goonies, bring back and create a whole new fan base for that, I think it would be a big hit. Again.
That's funny that you mentioned Goonies, Willow, because that's the movie that got me thinking along these lines. I was at Kroger last night making a deposit in the bank, and I went by the spinner rack of the DVDs and Blu-rays, and there's Goonies. And I was like, with all of the hype over, all of the love of the 80s pop culture right now with Stranger Things, and if you guys haven't watched Paper Girls on Netflix, it's kind of a, Stranger Things for girls. All of this 80s nostalgia. I'm like, all of this stuff is inspired by Goonies and by E.T. and by Back to the Future and by Ghostbusters. And, a lot of kids aren't seeing these things because they're old movies that mom and dad want me to watch.
Yeah.
Look, I absolutely hate when they remake the movies like that. I absolutely do, because they don't do it right. They don't bring justice to the storyline. The acting's terrible majority of the time. Like, it's just it's not good. But I think really like good. With Hocus Pocus, I love that they're doing a second one 20 some odd years later. So it makes you go watch. It's a
continuation of the story.
Right. So it makes you go watch the first one. So if you did that with these, older movies, did a continuation 20 some odd years later, then you have to go watch the first one.
Can I just say something about, I love Hocus Pocus, but I really wish, Mick Garris, that you would do podcasts so that we can talk to you about your film.
That's funny. Chris Goins says, what about Monster Squad? I love Monster Squad. It doesn't hold up real well, but it's a fun movie. And look, I went and saw a bunch of these movies in the theater again during the pandemic. We had a local theater that you couldn't get new movies, so they started replaying. We saw Ghostbusters, we saw Back to the Future, we saw Empire Strikes Back in the theater again, and my son loved it. It was phenomenal. Anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'd love to hear from you guys watching, what you guys think. Post your comments, but we got to get to our main topic, and that is Marvel versus DC. And so Ivy, Willow, you and I are big comic book fans. Dee Bartee is not a comic book fan, but she is a Superman fan. And so at first, Dee was like, I don't want to be on the show Saturday. And
John.
I knew. Well, I knew why though.
Because she's the only DC fan at the moment.
No. That's not why. I knew. I was expecting it when I announced the topic because she's not. She's not a comic book reader, and she's not into the comic books that we are, and she doesn't know the difference between Marvel and DC.
Well, I do, but it took me about 5 years to learn after working with you for 10. Legit, it took me forever to learn because I had to ask a lot of questions. What the heck is Marvel and DC? I don't understand.
And those are great questions. And so I absolutely said, no, Dee, you have to be on because you are the representative of the audience, that they may not realize that there's a difference and even understand why it's important. And the reason why I wanted to do this topic this week is because of all of the news that came out this week during the Discovery Investors Call. Yes, Ivy Roman.
Who said it's important? The difference is not important. Listen, I'm so sorry. I have to cut you off real quick, Johnny. I love you. But I split Marvel and DC in just what I like. I keep them in the categories of what I like. I don't go in depth into the whole nook and crannies of everything because then people want to debate. It's like service after Sunday. Everybody else wants to be the pastor. No, like we're not doing this. Like let's just keep it separate and enjoy it.
Well, let me frame the conversation here.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to say one is better than the other. This is not which one is better or best.
But it leads to there. All the time.
Well, not today, not this morning.
Okay.
I think it's important for consumers, the audience, to know the difference so that they can make so they don't get confused when they go see the movies or they go to a comic shop or to a bookstore and they don't understand why the Hulk isn't fighting Superman or Wonder
That was
Woman
my question. I
isn't-
was like, yes, it is exactly it. Because we were talking about, you were like, oh, you're a DC fan. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? I don't even know what DC is. And
So-
I just like Superman. Like that, that's legit all I knew.
I'm going to break it down in the most basic terms. DC Comics was one of the first comic book companies in the United States. It stands for Direct Comics, and their characters tend to be the godlike characters, the characters sitting in the ivory tower on top of the shining hill. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, they tend to be very perfect people with no flaws, except for Batman. He's a little bit of a psychopath because his parents were killed.
Well, Superman has flaws. Kryptonite gets him.
That's a weakness.
That's a weakness. That's not a flaw.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have personality flaws.
Gotcha.
Not like their counterparts at Marvel Comics. So Marvel Comics is the Avengers. Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Black Widow, and their characters were created and introduced in the 1960s, maybe 30 years after DC Comics. And their characters are grounded in real life problems. So, whereas the DC characters are set in a completely fictional world, the Marvel characters are set in real places like New York City and Chicago and LA. And the X-Men were an analogy for the civil rights struggle. And you had Spider-Man, who was a college student, high school student, who struggled with money and was nerdy and got bullied and picked on. And Iron Man, who struggles with alcoholism. And you have the Hulk, who is, an uncontrollable rage monster that Jekyll and Hyde. And really, Stan Lee did a fantastic job of creating these characters who have real life flaws. And it's kind of like the Orville.
Mm-hmm.
The Orville is Star Trek, but with real people
Yeah.
who have real problems and real hangups. And that's kind of what Marvel Comics has been. And Marvel Comics, for the most part, has been more focused on social issues, social justice, creating stories that we, the people, can put ourselves in. Because you can't put yourself in the place of Superman as a fan.
Well, if you break down his character, he is an immigrant.
Yes,
So,
but he's an immigrant who is godlike.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for audiences to put themselves in his place. It's a whole lot easier.
Perfect, and I love him. I like perfection.
and every time you see a picture of Superman, it's this kind of pose.
Oh,
this,
yeah. Look at that.
Strong, godlike. He's looking out over the landscape. And the TV show The Boys does a great job of showing what it would be like if Superman went bad. Because Homelander is Superman,
mhm.
and it ain't good. It ain't good. But so that's the main difference. And they're owned by different companies. DC Comics is owned by Warner Brothers, which is owned by Discovery, which it may not be owned by Discovery for much longer. Discovery is not doing well. I did an episode Wednesday night about this very topic. So if you're wondering what's going on with DC Comics, Warner Brothers, and HBO Max, go back and watch or listen to the solo episode I did Wednesday. And then Marvel Comics is owned by Disney, and that's only been recently. But
I'd say that's a recent thing, isn't it?
Yeah. But so I'm gonna do a quiz here. That's the main difference, and that's why they don't cross over. That's why Superman will not fight the Hulk. That's why Wonder Woman won't team up with Thor.
But in the 90s, they did release a Marvel versus DC series.
Yeah, a comic book series. And they've done crossovers from time to time. They did a Superman versus Spider-Man. They did X-Men versus Teen Titans, which is the single best comic book ever made. But that's a whole nother story. But now they hate each other. And their parent companies hate each other. Until
that's so sad because there's so much money to be made if
we're really all superheroes. Can't we just get along?
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But you know what? Warner Brothers, Disney might buy Warner Brothers after this is all said and done. We got to wait and see. They are certainly on the hunt. Again, they tried to buy it.
See, like Superman and Captain America team up because they're both really like.
I just saw the actors in my head, and I just started like, I started drooling mentally.
Right?
Chris Henry. Oh.
So George Bueller says, I always saw Marvel characters as better representation of humankind, while DC characters are what we should aspire to be. Okay, that's a good way to put it.
I love that.
And I've always been a Marvel shill. I don't know why. Just the Marvel characters have always spoken to me. But I want to do this little test.
I'm the opposite, John. DC is always, and I guess it's because I aspire to be perfect. I'm just kidding. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Well, Dee, I'm gonna quiz you.
Okay. No, this should go good.
Yeah.
And
I'm
if
still half
Dee
asleep.
if Dee doesn't answer the question correctly, Willow or Ivy, you jump in. All right, Dee, DC or Marvel?
DC. Oh, wait a minute. Are you showing me the characters telling me
Yes.
to answer? Oh, okay, that's Marvel.
Okay.
Well, you got to tell people that are listening what it is.
Okay.
Batman, DC.
Okay. Yep. And the first one was Superman. Then we did Captain America, Batman. This one is Thor.
Oh, Marvel,
Yep. We got Wonder Woman.
DC,
We got Iron Man,
Marvel.
The Flash.
Oh my
Oh,
god, I love Grant.
Let's see. He was on Smallville, so DC.
Yep. Green Lantern.
I'm going with DC.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Black Panther.
Marvel.
The Hulk.
Marvel.
Yep. Spider-Man.
Marvel.
Now I'm going to give you a trick question.
I don't like it.
Oh, actually, you're. This is going to be funny, but I realized I forgot to upload an image. So, this is a trick question, Dee. Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Okay, since it sounds obviously like it would be Marvel, I'm going to go with DC.
That is correct because
Awesome.
I'm showing a picture of the Shazam Captain Marvel. His name is Captain Marvel, but DC is not able to use the name Captain Marvel in any marketing, so they have to call the character Shazam. The Captain Marvel that is allowed to be called Captain Marvel is this Captain Marvel at Marvel, Carol Danvers. But Dee Bartee, you got a perfect score.
Yeah.
100.
Woo! Go Dee!
You know a whole lot more than you said you did.
I have learned over the years, all because of you.
Well,
You're a
what
good
I do.
teacher, Johnny.
I've listened when you're like, I love Marvel, and these are all the Marvel characters. I'm like, okay, I'm getting it.
So George Bueller says something interesting. I see a future where DC characters are farmed out to different publishers while Warner Brothers would still keep Batman. That could happen. And the reason why George is saying that is because this week, DC Comics released 20 Batman comics on the shelves.
At one time?
That's not all of them. That's just this week.
Oh.
Wow.
It's like DC is banking and Warner Brothers is banking everything on Batman. And at the Discovery Investors Call this week, the Warner Brothers director, the CEO of Warner Brothers was like, well, we have Batman. And he's like,
Yeah,
we got Batman.
But if they listen to the fans, we want something other than Batman.
I don't even really like Batman a whole lot.
I'm kind of over Batman, especially like after Gotham, like the show, after that show finished. I'm like, yeah, I think I've gotten my fix of Batman. I think I could move on and expand my horizons.
I thought Gotham was really going to go places, but I mean, it just kind of.
Where could it go?
It had to stop where it stopped. I actually had a great friend, Noah Schultz. He was one of the stuntmen and actors for Gotham in a couple of episodes towards the middle and end. So
see, I couldn't get invested in Gotham because I know where those characters' stories end up. There's no drama for me. There's no depth, there's no real conflict. I mean, we know that Bruce Wayne is going to become the Batman. He's not going to die. We know Jim Gordon's not going to die.
I was excited to see the build up to that, like they did with Smallville. But the problem with it that I had with Gotham was them bringing in all these characters, twisting the stories around, and completely ruining everybody's storyline.
Now, here is the other big difference between Marvel and DC. Marvel has a connected, integrated universe.
Mhm.
Their TV shows feed into the movies feed into the TV shows, and even more so since Kevin Feige took over everything. it was a little bit disjointed with Netflix and with the ABC Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Inhumans, but Kevin Feige took over everything, TV and movies, and now comic publishing, and so everything is getting connected. And now they're connecting the Netflix shows to the MCU. Everything is one storyline, one umbrella, whereas the DC universe is very disjointed. None of it connects to the other. You got Suicide Squad over here, you got Gotham over here, you got Batman over here, you got Justice League down here, you got the Flash movie. Is it going to happen? Isn't going to happen? Is it connected? Isn't it? Is it going to reboot everything?
Is Suicide Squad DC?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. You should put one of those up.
You know what it is? I honestly feel like Marvel's so integrated, like you said, right? And with DC not being integrated like Marvel, it kind of gives you like the human perspective, like, hey, you know, there's always something else happening on the other side of a town or the world. So it kind of like, I think for me, because I'm a very deep person, it brings me in depth to like the idea of like humanity, I guess. And with Marvel, it's just like, it's like a continuous storytelling, like in wrestling, like show after show, like the story builds and it keeps going. So for me, that's how I look at Marvel and DC. It's just different spectrums, but it still has a part of me.
Now, Willow,
well, that's another reason why I actually like DC is because it's a standalone story a lot of times, and I don't have to be invested in movie after movie after movie, or story after story, or show after show, or whatever. I can just watch Smallville and watch Superman's origin story. You know, like
that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that, but hardcore fans want more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I can't remember all the stuff from Marvel. Like, I try, you guys. I really try. And then, like, there's something else that I'm like, well, where the heck did that come from? I didn't even know that was a thing. And I mean, it's just.
And then Brian says, well, that happened 32 movies ago.
Yeah, he does.
And it's taken from issue number 181 of The Incredible Hulk, where he fights Wolverine for the first time. But before you meet Wolverine, you meet this other character, and she talks to Bruce Banner, and that's the input. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, really? Why aren't you on the show? Why am I here? Because you know all of this stuff. But he's the one that tells me you need to watch this and talk about it on Saturday.
He's a good man. Willow, you were about to say so.
He's a manager. He's a manager.
No, I just, when it comes to DC, like I love the Superman stuff. I love the Batman stuff. I'd like to see them focus a little bit more on Wonder Woman and what her story is, and I would really, I wish that we could see the Batgirl movie, like that. I know we don't want to get too involved in that discussion, but
for those of you who don't know, this week Warner Brothers shelved the Batgirl movie, which was being produced for the HBO Max platform. It was 90% done. They'd already spent.
Brendan Fraser, everyone.
Really?
Brendan Fraser was set to be in that film,
and Michael Keaton as Batman.
What?
Yes.
Oh, they gave me chills. I love Michael Keaton.
And it was 90% done. They'd already spent $70 million on it, and they shelved it completely. It will never see the light of day.
Why?
Because they said
all kinds of excuses.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's all it is excuses.
Well, no, here's what it boils down to. The tax write-off that they are going to get from claiming the $70 million loss is more valuable than the revenue that they'll make by releasing the movie. It's the same thing that happened when Bain Capital bought Toys R Us so that they could liquidate the company to sell the real estate that the stores were sitting on, because the land was worth more than the retail revenue. And that's what's going on with the DC movies. And that's what
Target did up in Canada.
Well,
sorry, go on.
anyway, And they shelved the Scooby-Doo sequel, Scoob 2, A Haunted Holiday, as Tony I says.
They're
It was
so rude.
yeah.
Like that
And
is terrible. So they got to enjoy the set. They got to enjoy the experience and create something amazing. And you're just gonna leave it on the shelf like a statuette that you bought at Comic-Con in 2014. Like that is
Yep.
Hey, look, somebody
so
who has
But-
done acting and they cut several of the scenes I did. Dude, that's legit. Like all of your work that you put into this and nobody will ever see it. Like that sucks.
Where's Michael Keaton? I need to know
Yeah.
how he feels about this.
Yeah,
Where
I
are
would
you?
love to know
Who?
what the actors feel
Michael
about it.
Keaton. Sorry,
Oh.
I can't speak English. I got so when I get mad, like my tongue gets so tongue tied because this is stuff that I love. Like even watching the show on CW, I was like, I feel like they could have done more on CW and bring the show to life, but they want to have a main character change. Like, oh,
Now, so let's talk about the Flash for just a minute. In the Discovery investors call, they said they are still going forward with the Flash theatrical release, despite continual controversies with Ezra Miller. And now, did you guys hear what came out this week? He was running a sex cult,
oh no.
and they're still going to release this movie. Why not push it back to 2025? Refilm all of his scenes with Grant Gustin from
Yes.
the CW Flash.
Yes,
And fans would be
I will
over the
love
moon
that.
excited about that.
I will love that.
And it would eliminate the controversy. But they're still going forward with releasing this movie, they're praying and hoping to God that all of the controversy with Ezra Miller just gets forgotten by 2025. They've pushed it back now two times, and now it's
No.
pushed back to 2025.
Thank you, Tony. I was thinking exactly that.
Oh, wait, hold on. George says the final budget for Batgirl was $90 million, and WB say $20 million for not releasing it. And then what is it with DC actors and sex cults? So
Right?
They're not
You-
so perfect, are they?
that's Tony I is asking that. You guys, Dee, do you know what they're talking about there?
No.
So you were a fan of Smallville, the girl who played Chloe.
Oh yeah. No,
She ran
I-
a sex cult.
yes, I watched that whole entire series on that. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Heartbreaking. I
It
had
was
such a
pretty-
crush on her.
I can believe she did everything that she did and even admitted to doing everything that she did.
I'm
She
starting
was
to
brainwashed.
wonder about DC executives.
Well, I mean, so Aquaman's DC, right?
Yes.
Okay, so all that crap with Amber Heard and Johnny
Mhm.
Depp. I mean,
Yep.
golly, what is it with all the DC people?
Listen, I will be more than happy to be side by side and be an. I don't think. Oh man, never mind. I saw the trial.
Wait,
I'll be
Sorry
happy
about
to
that.
take over. I don't run any kind of sex cults, so we're good. I will be in any of the movies.
I will look good as a redhead. I'm just saying.
I don't.
Listen, Ivy Roman as Mira in that slinky bodysuit. Oh.
And I got a bigger butt, so I'll make the suit pop. Just
There
saying.
you go.
Just,
And
I
she
can
can
be
act.
Lois Lane.
She can act.
I can act, yeah.
Oh, and George Bueller brings up the fact that there was going to be another Green Lantern movie, but with Armie Hammer, and it was killed off after his sexist, misogynistic troubles. He talks about he's done some freaky stuff, freaky stuff. He's a freak, super freak,
People are crazy.
doing DC movies.
So,
It'd be the DC. It'd be the DC execs. Like maybe they just need to new
I think-
execs.
Yeah, I think they need a redo.
Call me
I
to
think
redo the exec.
DC just needs to take a breather for maybe a couple years, just to
I could be Wonder
figure out
Woman.
where they're
I'm
going.
tall.
And just figure out who to align themselves with that are better people.
Well, so here's the thing I think everyone can agree with. The biggest difference between Marvel and DC, besides the comics in the movies, is that Marvel makes great live action movies and DC makes great animated movies
Yes.
and animated projects.
Yeah, they do.
And Warner Brothers needs to focus on that. Be the best at that
Yeah.
and make a lot of money. And I'm going to go see Legion of Super Pets, the League of Super Pets today, because everyone has told me it's phenomenal. And it's DC animated Warner Brothers movie with Crypto the Super Dog.
I might see that tonight.
Yeah. So,
Isn't The
Anyway.
Rock the voice of that?
yes,
The Rock and isn't
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart is the Bat Dog. And
I love them.
I
I
do.
my life goal is to have tequila with The Rock and bourbon with Kevin Hart. But I feel like Kevin Hart would just drink the tequila because he probably can't handle bourbon because of his height. So in that case,
What are you saying? Are you saying I'm a short man?
I can see you eye level, Kevin. We're here. We are here.
Here's the question I have. Speaking of movie remakes, there's only one movie remake that I can justify happening. And that is a remake of Twins with The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yes.
Why has that not happened yet?
Yeah. I
That
can
would
see
be cool.
I can
Yeah.
see that.
That would be cool.
Listen, The Rock's people are all over the place. And so you never know if they're watching. The Rock would be like, another one.
Well, so at San Diego Comic-Con, The Rock spoke out about how great he thinks Henry Cavill is as Superman, but he came short of saying that they're doing another Superman movie. And on the Warner Brothers Discovery Investors Call, there's no mention of any Superman property in the pipeline at all. Henry Cavill as Superman is dead. Here's my prediction. You're
gonna make me cry.
No. This is better. They're casting the Fantastic Four movie right now.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige said John Krasinski as Reed Richards for Multiverse of Madness was it was fan service. It was to give the fans, their fan casting. My prediction is Henry Cavill will be cast as Reed Richards, and Melissa Benoit, who was Supergirl on the CW, will be the Invisible Woman, Sue Storm. That's
would
my
be awesome.
prediction. Mark the time I made that prediction. It's going to happen.
August 6th. It's 10:12 Eastern time. Oh my God. We are over the hour, Johnny.
Okay,
Yeah, I
so
know.
I do have a question. Fantastic Four, is that DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
That is Marvel.
Okay, I really liked Fantastic Four, and I could not believe that there's not more anything. There's like what, 2 movies and that's it?
3.
3?
Yeah.
I really
Well-
enjoyed it. I was a big fan.
The first 2, there's nothing wrong with them. They're
and
not
they actually,
great.
you know what? They were at Universal. They had a whole section, so I should have known that it was
Like,
Marvel. But
They did a good job with that. Yeah, Jessica Alba.
She was a little bit shallow for my taste.
I don't think she had enough time to prepare for that role to actually embody the character, because she is amazing embodying
Mhm.
whichever character she does. I don't think she had the time to prepare, and she just went with it. But she did her best.
Now, George Bueller does say that James Gunn makes good DC movies and TV shows, but he makes better Marvel movies.
Yeah. No, he does. 100%.
And Tony I says, but is it a Jack Kirby Marvel? I'm not sure what that question means.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Jack Kirby, for those of you who don't know, was one of the most influential artists for Marvel Comics. He basically defined the look. Him and Steve Ditko, John Buscema, and Don Heck are kind of... And George Bueller says about the Fantastic Four movies, Dr. Doom in both those films was the worst. On the other hand, Silver Surfer was excellent. That is correct. He is absolutely 100% correct.
And you know what I wish they would do more of? I wish they would focus more on the villains and their backstories.
Oh, yeah,
And,
that would be
like,
dope.
Bring that to life. Like, we know all the superheroes and we know all their backstories. So why not bring to life like how people became villains? I'd watch that.
That may happen with Doctor Doom, but you're not. Everyone watching, you're not getting Doctor Doom in Marvel Phase 5 or Phase 6. You might get him at the end of Secret Wars, at the end of Phase 6. You're not going to get Doctor Doom until Phase 7.
We need a bit. We need to build up to the next big villain, though.
Yes. So
we need a big one.
The next big villain is Kang the Conqueror. That's what Marvel Phase 5 and 6 is going to. You're going to see Kang in his full glory make his first appearance in Wakanda Forever this November. He was the main villain behind Loki season 1, and we're going to see him actually appear as the Conqueror in Wakanda Forever. And then the next movie in line, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, is going to take a deep, deep dive into introducing him. And then he is the main villain of Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars in 2024. Dun, dun, dun.
I would make a great villain. Just saying.
You would. You would.
You guys never see me mad.
That's why it would
Oh
be
my
acting.
gosh. Ivy, you would be a great She-Hulk. And
Really? Yeah.
Dee Bartee, you would be a great, great Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah, you would.
You know what? I would be a great She-Ra. I would love to make the She-Ra movie.
You would be a great She-Ra, but she's not a villain. She's
I
a
know.
hero.
I know.
It would be a twist. It would be a twist.
Yeah,
It would be the
yeah,
twist.
yeah. We could do a twist on it and make her the villain. Oh, that could be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Well, guys, we are 15 minutes over the hour. And this is what happens when you have fun in the rec room. And this is what happens when people join in and comment. Like Tony I posted, Jack Kirby did most of the artwork for Fantastic Four, right?
Oh, okay.
And he was a DC artist as well. So that's where he was going was,
Okay.
will the Fantastic Four movie be a Kirby Marvel? And I'm going to say yes. When they do it, they're going to do it as a love letter to Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four, just like they did with Thor. Thor is a love letter to Jack Kirby. Anyway, but we could go on and on and on and on, and I could talk about this all day. But I got mouths to feed.
I gotta go to the beach, y'all. I'm trying to get a tan, because I look like a strawberry. My right leg, you guys can't see, but my right leg is red, and it has like somewhat of a tan, and then the rest of it is just white. So I have to go even out. Go even it out.
And speaking of Jack Kirby, Chris Goins says, "All hail the king." Yes,
right.
Indeed. That is a great way to end the show. So everyone, tell our audience how they can follow, find, and support you, Dee Bartee.
Dee Bartee Photo, all the social media networks. I'm there.
At Dee Bartee Photo.
At
And
Dee Bartee Photo.
Willow Skylor, how can people follow, find, and support you?
All right here. Just Google Willow Skylor. You'll find me everywhere. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram.
Awesome.
So yeah, everywhere.
Ivy Roman, how can people follow, find, and support you?
You can find me on Instagram, Healing with Ivy. Hit the link in the bio and you'll find all my social media. And don't forget to also like my podcast, Healing with Ivy. Comes out once a month.
Awesome. And you can follow, find, and support me at johnpyka.com. Or better yet, follow the show at backofthecerealbox.fun. And you can connect with us. You can contribute. You can make donations either by Buy Me a Coffee, Patreon, or even PayPal if you want to go that route. But become a supporter. Send us a voicemail. Send us an email if you want to go old school. Connect with us on Facebook. And like this episode, share it. Post comments. Continue to do that. Subscribe
Get
on
magic
whatever.
spoons.
Get
on
Magic
board.
Spoon cereal, y'all. Listen, we're not sponsored yet, but we're gonna manifest that we are going to be sponsored, and we want our listeners to enjoy the goodness.
Order some Magic Spoon and tell them Back of the Cereal Box sent you. Go, Willow.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's do a campaign on social media where you tag them and say, "Hey, let's get them as a sponsor."
we're gonna cut up Dee's taste testing as clips, and we're gonna post them on Instagram over the next 4 weeks and tag Magic Spoon. And yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna make that a thing.
Let's make it a thing.
Ain't no thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to. Anyway, all right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to say farewell. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the virtual rec room. As always, if you had a good time, tell 200-300 of your closest friends and family to come share the fun. And until the next time, love you, mean it.
Love you, mean it.
We'll catch you on the back of the cereal box.
Bye.
Goodbye. Farewell.
Bye.
Love you.